So I'd like to give you just a brief introduction to how to take notes in lecture. And I'll give a couple of very short responses to a couple of this, I believe, essays. So while taking notes, what I want you to do is write down anything that surprises you in what I say. How what I say deviates from how you responded to Hawke or some other of the essay. How would you classify my remarks if you had to? Like, am I just giving a neutral summary? Am I bitterly denouncing? Am I happily affirming? Am I restating? Am I evaluating? So, you know, what surprises you, and also kind of try to get a bead on my tone, which should give you a little hint about my purpose. All right, so Tony Hawk, do what you love. What's being said here? When I read this essay, that's what I asked myself. That there's a choice between various options, in our lives, and we should choose what we love. How many people have that choice? Lots of people don't. So I'm not so sure that when I read this essay, I felt like Hawke was providing us with some timeless wisdom. I know that he's, I guess, something of a rebel, or presents himself a little bit that way. So maybe that's how he thinks of his choice to do what he loves, as an act of rebellion. Because he chose to be a skateboarder when skateboarding was not a mainstream sport or spectacle, when people couldn't make money off it, and now people can. In the same way that, you can make money off eating cockroaches, that has mainstream recognition now, since Fear Factor. So, I'm not too moved by, I have to say, I'm not too moved by Tony Hawk's advice or wisdom there. Contrast what Tony Hawk has to say with what Studs Terkel has to say. This community in action accomplishes more than any individual does, no matter how strong he or she may be. Wow, when I read that, I thought, wow, this statement is profound. When you realize it's a response to a previous situation, a situation being, American culture, in which the individual is touted as the solution to all our social problems. We're just going to have a leader, right? A single person who's going to, from this party or that party, who's going to sort of fix everything. We have a lot of heroes in our culture. Athletes, Oscar winners, millionaires by 30, computer app geniuses. Our culture just loves the story and the image of the hero. I wonder why that is. I think it's because that's what drives people, is to think that one day they might be a hero too. But I don't know if that's the best thing to really set your store by as a person in the world. Is I want to be one of them, the elite, the super elite. First of all, it's just not very realistic. I admire Studs, Studs Terkel more than Tony Hawk. He's a writer, a radio show host who chronicled, in his life, he chronicled ordinary people's lives. And he showed that there was a heroism in getting by, just getting by. And he was a champion of ordinary people. He developed an appreciation of how people of modest circumstances flourish. How do they flourish? They build communities. They form alliances across differences that would normally keep people separate. They create a world through their civic action. So, I'm sorry, Tony, I don't admire you, or Mick Jagger, or Tom Brady, or Lady Gaga. They are all successful millionaires, and more power to them, I guess. And then they're kind of poster children for rebellion as a way of making money, which is not really rebellion. True rebels make us think. They make us rethink our values and begin to see and work towards a more just world. Socrates, Jesus, Gandhi, MLK, Sojourner Truth, Angela Grimke. These are all heroes in my book.